আপনারা দেখছেন টকিং পয়েন্ট।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব এন্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।
Welcome back. Before we went on our commercial break, which I termed as oxygen for our life, we were talking to our distinguished guest today, Wasfia Nazreen, the girl who has put Bangladesh on the top of the world. And as I said before, we have got friends in high places. Now this timeline of you scaled Mount Everest, Kilimanjaro, and this peak in South America, and Vinson in Antarctica, and then Mount Elbrus. And the two remain to be scaled. We will talk about them later, but tell us something about, we were talking about what did you eat when you were going up the mountains? So these, of course, these seven summits are completely different, and scaling them, the conditions are different perhaps. But Kilimanjaro, long time ago I had seen a film. I don't remember what was the name, but the Kilimanjaro was there, and it has always fascinated me. It's more than, it looks more beautiful than Mount Everest. I do not know why. Is it so?
I find all mountains beautiful and sacred. So
You remember anything from Kilimanjaro?
Well, again, unfortunately, out of these all seven, Kilimanjaro is probably the most commercialized. So there are 6 different routes to the summit, and I took the second hardest route just to evade the crowd, because it's like Walmart, you know, on the mountain. But Kilimanjaro is a beautiful mountain, and because you know the topography changes every day. And but what was interesting during our expedition is during the summit push. We had a snowstorm, which was apparently which happened, the last time it happened was 10 years ago. And so the Maasais, which are the local people,
they're very tall.
They were in celebration.
They're like Sherpas, isn't it? Very hardy.
Yeah, but in a different way, I guess you can. But they were all, but the spirit with them, you know, is just they're always having fun, even if through the worst storms, they're singing away, you know. So
they wear very colorful dresses.
Oh no, well, the ones who are in the mountain, they don't actually wear those. You have to be all you know, properly dressed up for the mountain. But so I actually ended up having a very great time with them, and I have a hula hoop which I carry. I don't know if you know about this, to the summit, and they had a lot of fun with it. So but it's
to keep you fit.
Yeah, well, I have a whole story behind that, because I was stopped from playing that when I was a kid, and it happened so much because it was derogatory, according to some auntie. But I was a 9-year-old girl, you know, so some auntie in the neighborhood commented, you know, that it doesn't fit for a girl to, and that's what society does to us. And I actually believed for a long time that I was not allowed, it was not proper for me as a girl to do it. And you know, women in our society are made to believe certain things, and so karma has it that my guide in Kilimanjaro happened to have brought this hula hoop, and we were like, oh my god, look at this. And so that's where we had the idea that why don't we take the hula hoop to all the summit and do it, not to piss anyone off or you know, anger anyone, but to sort of reclaim what was my birthright, to play outside, you know. And yeah, so that was the Kilimanjaro.
Oh, I'm sure the world realizes that you have proved your point beyond doubt, that women can do and girls can do the things that they want to do, if given the right opportunity, the right time, the right guidance. I'm sure our girls and other girls can do that.
Well, to tell you very frankly, I think the mission will be successful. I don't think I've reached the mission yet. I still have 2 more mountains, but in the entire mission of Bangladesh on 7 summits will be successful when 10 other girls from Bangladesh are empowered, and that's when the mission will start and take effect. This is now we're in the campaigning stage still, the climbing, and then the foundations work has a long way to go.
What sort of time frame do you think that you'll be able to finish off reaching these the seventh one?
Well, the thing is, every mountain has a particular season. So, especially with Denali, which is the North American climb, you can only do it from June to August. So, if I miss this boat, then I have to wait till next year.
Right.
I have a lot of money to raise for these mountains because, as you may know, I've sort of self-funded these through a lot of loans. And in my last mountain, which was Denali, and that would have been my sixth mountain, we got caught in a storm for 2 weeks, and in the end, we all had to, all the teams had to evade, and it was a shutdown. So
wasn't that the right season?
Yeah, it was, but it's so close to the Arctic Circle. It's considered an Arctic climb. You cannot predict the weather at all. And I know people who's gone back to that mountain fifth time and still hasn't summited. Not because of anything to do with their physical abilities, because I was at the last camp looking at the summit, but we couldn't go because the storm, I mean, it's also, you have to remember that the mountain is always going to be there, but my life, it's not worth it, you know.
How much was it in time, time and distance terms?
For Denali? A month. So that's the toughest, technically speaking, that's the toughest one. In terms of, because, there's the highest mountain and there's length, like distance-wise, Denali is the largest mountain because you have to actually ski or take a sled and cross glaciers and stuff, and then you have to start the climb. So it's in, and there's no Sherpa supporting you with carrying those weights.
Dogs?
So no, you carry it yourself with a backpack and a sled. So I carried on the last push, and then you have to come down with all the weight. And when you're coming down, you carry all the tents, and you have to clean all this and bring it all down.
You can't throw away. There are no dustbins.
No. And then the American U.S. Park government rules in the park is you're fined for leaving trash. So you have to be very particular. So I ended up carrying 76 kilos combined with backpack and sled.
Of trash.
Of everything, weight, kitchen, tents, everything, on my last expedition. But I got frostbitten, which I was going to tell you. And then, what luck, I didn't have insurance that particular expedition, and I was hospitalized, and I had 3 surgeries, and so lots of medical.
Your feet?
No, my
toes?
finger. And I still don't have sensation on this one, just the top part. So yeah, it's been quite an adventure, but I still have to go back to that mountain again because to reach the last part, and hopefully I'm hoping to do it in this summer. And then there's Karsten's Pyramid, the last one, which is Oceania or Australasia highest point, and it's in Papua New Guinea. But it's a very complicated zone to go to because it's 2 months of totally Indiana Jones style, crossing through rainforest and rivers, water up to there, and then you can get kidnapped on the way going there because the largest gold mine of the world is there. There's a lot of people around it. So the journey to reach the mountain is harder than actually climbing the mountain, and the climb is a day. But it's a rock climb, so you have to have those skills, which is a different kind of approach.
Right. Have you done rock climbing before?
Yes. Well, I have just for this mountain.
I know some college students here. They go to Wales here in South Wales.
Yeah, I go to Nepal.
Yeah, that's not much, but anyway, there's a bit of rock climbing they do there. This scaling of the summits that you have done, suppose in say 2 years' time, see, what is your mission after that?
In 2 years? No, I'm hoping to do them in 6 months.
Suppose.
Well, Bangladesh on 7 Summits Foundation, like I was saying, takes effect as soon as I'm done with the climbs.
Right.
And we have established the foundation, and everything is done, but the work actually starts after the climbs are done. And
it will be in Bangladesh.
It will be based out of Bangladesh, but we will have foreign training centers and places like that. But that's the longer, because in the long run we're hoping to have it as a center for South Asian women, as a small hub for South Asian women. And I'm working actually with a number, teams from like the Nepali 7 Summits team, also the first Arab woman who's climbed Everest and also doing 7 summits. She's from Palestine, Suzanne Al-Houbi, and Patrick Morrow, who's the first person in the world to have done 7 summits. He's Canadian.
He's a mentor and trainer.
He's my mentor, yeah, and he's a legend in my world. And so all these personalities from around the world, because Bangladesh, so we're going to be bringing them to Bangladesh and providing, that's my dream.
Yep.
Let's see, to provide world-class, training to women in our country, and maybe it will attract women from all around Asia.
Well, detailing on that, could you address our viewers and tell them what you are doing and what you intend to do for the emancipation of women and of Bangladesh, providing equal opportunities for women of Bangladesh, and you are also involved in raising funds for some noble projects, so you can talk to our viewers.
Well, the thing is, you're talking about the fundraising.
Yes,
we have a fundraising event coming up on 16th February at Rich Mix, London. It's to pay off my loans, actually, but I will be, the event is being held by Komala Collective and Kio, which is a British Bangladeshi band, many of you may know. They'll be performing and I'll be showing photos, and Mr. Tommy Mia is has been very kind to provide food for the venue, and so it'll be a nice get together and also storytelling and night. So I would love for the British Bangladeshi community to come out there and support. Other than that, I mean, the foundation's work, like I already mentioned, that will start from hopefully August if I'm alive. And then I think, I mean, I would rather say about something else that, Bangladesh is really, I mean, I'm not just saying from a patriotic place, but those of us who are abroad, there's so many ways you can get involved even being abroad, and I think it's the duty of our generation to give back. And just working with refugees for such a long time made me realize that I at least have a country that I call my motherland. Many people in this world don't even have that, and it came with a lot of sacrifice of our previous generation, and we need to respect that, and we don't have much time. So if if whatever we're doing in our own fields, we can collaborate and work together, I'm all supportive of that. And
how can a Bangladeshi girl help you living in London? Short, very briefly.
I don't need, I mean, not for helping, but I mean, if it's, I would rather have that person work for another Bangladeshi woman in there. It depends on their passion. Yeah, helping each other.
Well, it's very nice having you, Wasfia, here, and it is a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so
and
much.
For our viewers to understand a lot of things that probably they didn't understand about mountaineering, climbing, and emancipation of women, and helping each other to improve the situation in Bangladesh. May Allah help you.
Thank
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, viewers, for being with us, and I hope you have enjoyed as much as I have talking to Wasfia Nazreen. It was a pleasure having her with us. Thank you.